All right, good afternoon, everyone. All right, so the question screen below or the question part below the webcam is open. We can have the record of this. I'll be giving the recording of this training after my talk. So I'd like to ask if my voice is clear. Would it be possible that any one of you could type in on the questions and let me know if it's clear? So thank you, Sir Chris Bitug. So it seems like my presentation is clear. So we are expecting 466 attendees today, and thank you so much for the overwhelming support. This is very helpful for your USANA business. And to introduce myself, my name is Jen. I am the pharmacist for USANA Philippines, and I am a pharmacist by profession. For this afternoon, we will be talking about the importance of supplementation, what epigenetics is all about, and also I'll be discussing with you what makes our essentials different from the others. So, for those who are just new here in USANA, Essentials is our flagship product. It's actually your chelated minerals and mega antioxidant, and this is one of the highest rated supplements in the world. So, just to give you an idea, for this day, we will be talking about supplementation, epigenetics, and essentials. So for some people, they're asking me, epigenetics is quite new. What's epigenetics? So just to give you an idea, epigenetics is a study in genetics, particularly in the tracing the traits that is transferred from one gene to another. It is said that there's a lot of external factors such as your diet, your exercise, and the others, and they can affect your genes. They can either turn on or turn off some parts of the genes that can later on transpire to disease or possible good health well-being. So the complexity of our DNA is really important, and we have to make sure that we understand what good influence we give to our genes. Like for example, what food do we eat? So this new frontier in science, which we call epigenetics, helps us understand the importance why supplementation is also an important factor to keep not just our cells but our DNA healthy. So just to give you an idea, epigenetic modulation is what most doctors or geneticists consider so that we can have healthier being. When I say healthier being, meaning these are the things that should be taken consideration like psychological state, social state, even the diet, disease exposure, because any alteration in your genes or any changes in your genes, it leaves an imprint. And when it leaves an imprint, when you get or when you choose to have a child in the future, you transfer that to your children. So based on studies, the longevity of human depends on the diet, particularly not just the diet, the food quality, the type of food we consume. And if you would check the history before, most of the diets before are derived from fishes. Most of the diets before are more on polyphenols, like for example, the fruits, the nuts, and the berries. And because through time there have been changes in the diet, we could also relate that the lifespan has been becoming shorter and shorter. And most scientists consider this because of the diet. So there are epigenetic changes that happen. And one of the biggest influences of this is, other than the one I've been showing you on the screen, what they really course through is the diet. So let's set an example. You decide in your life to have a child. Some people think that your baby is a new being, but actually it's not a new being. We call that in the science an epigenome. It's a new genome makeup. Actually, it's not made from scratch. Half of you is, or one of you, or us being a person, is half our parents, half our mother, half our father. And the babies that were born, actually, they possess what you call epigenetic tags. So let me repeat that: epigenetic tags, Why? These epigenetic tags, they have the capacity to what? They have the capacity to translate a lot of information, all right, from next generation to the others. For those who are curious what epigenetic tags are, this is the information that we get from our parents, actually genetic information. And what do we usually pass as a genetic information? We pass not just the traits, we pass the disease, we pass the health baseline, and a lot more. So, if I may translate it in Tagalog, yung mga sakit natin ngayon, hindi lang yan instant na nakuha mo lang dahil lahi. Kaya siya nagkaroon ng concept ng lahi because the epigenetic tags was transferred from your grandfather to your mother up to you. And up until now, you transfer that tag to your children. So studies show that the actions in the body, particularly yung physical activity, food quality, food choices, even environmental exposure, they affect the organ system up to the cellular level. And not just cellular level, we're talking on DNA. That's why if you can read The Healthy Homes of Dr. Myron Wentz, Dr. Myron Wentz has been discussing in that book how important it is that you really take away those chemical containing cosmetics. Kaya nga, di ba, one of our cosmetic products, the Sansei, is really different from the others because it's botanical based. There's nothing chemical on that. Some people think na yung amoy ng bagong kotse, mabango, but there's a lot of bisphenols. There's a lot of chemicals on there that affect not just your body, not just your health, but even the imprints or the DNA tags that we are talking about. So, if I may copy this picture from a well-known neurologist, Dr. Joseph Maroon, this picture actually demonstrates to us how important epigenetics is and studying epigenetics. It is said that the exercise, nutritional factors, our environment, even our emotional stability, they can affect our cells. Why? Because they send communication, we call that transcription. They send signal, they send transcription to your DNA, and it can either result to producing inflammation, producing antioxidant, or even yung kinakatakot natin sa cancer na mutation. Kaya minsan magugulat ka, wala kaming lahi ng cancer, bakit may nagka-cancer? There could be some signal links that could happen because you're emotionally unstable. Kaya if you would check, ano ba yung definition ng World Health Organization ng healthy? Hindi lang physically, hindi lang financially, hindi lang emotionally, spiritually. Actually, marami siyang aspeto of actually being healthy. So epigenetics explains to us a new field in science, but actually hindi siya new eh. Matagal na talaga siyang napag-uusapan, and explains to us that our choices in life, the food we eat, the exercise we do, particularly the supplements you choose, they have a direct effect or influence in our health. And what is that direct effect? It can affect the genetic code either on a positive side na healthy ka, or on a negative side where you have a poor health or sometimes premature death. And the sad thing, it's either you get the positive and negative and you pass that on to the next generation. Kaya minsan some people are telling me, Jen, let me have a deeper reason why I should do Usana. Like what I have always been telling everybody, you're not just doing Usana because you want to be healthy. You want to live a good signal to your cells because that affects your DNA, and you pass that DNA from one generation to the other. Some people tell me, wala naman akong balak magkaanak. Ayoko naman ng magkaanak. I mean, you should not be selfish. You know a lot of people who wants to be healthy. You know a lot of people who are preparing for marriage and for bearing children. This is the right time you introduce to them good amounts of vitamins and minerals because on a nutritional factor, those nutrients, they give a signal to the cell, and that makes the DNA functionable compared sa hindi ka nagba-vitamins. So this is a study I'd like to show to you. So this is a picture from Stover et al. This was published in 2008 by the Journal of American Dietetic Association. Sinasabi in this picture that nutrients can actually have a big impact in terms of epigenetics. As you can see, like for example, your early nutrition experiences, if you had malnutrition, if you have a good environment, it gives an imprint in our DNA. However, if we are constantly not taking good care of ourselves, that DNA could also be affected Kaya minsan sinasabi nila, I'm healthy, pero bakit ako nagkaka-cancer? Kasi baka you have a good imprint, however, the lifestyle is not good. So having a good imprint, on the other hand, should have a good lifestyle as well so that you can prevent diseases. So the epigenetics, just to make it simple, explains to us that most of our health origin was transferred through DNA. However, you have to put an effort to maintain that good epigenetic activity so that you'll be healthy. Kung hindi ka naman nabigyan ng good epigenetic tag, however, yung environment mo, yung previous diet ng generation mo di maganda, gawa ka ng extra effort to be healthy para ma-attain mo yung good health. Kasi some people, they just wait for their diseases to come. Like for example, lahi ko naman tong hypertension eh. I'll just wait for it. You know, it's wrong. There might be epigenetic tags that tell that you have that, but you can take charge of your health. When I say take charge, you can change that. The body may not change now, but your future generation will benefit on that. So I hope I'm clear with that. So in a study by Sang-Woon Choi and Simonetta Frisco et al., they explained that nutrition can actually, or nutrients can reverse epigenetic phenomena. Meaning, if you have a possibility of a faulty gene that could lead to hypertension, there are some nutrients, clinically relevant nutrients, that can change or can change that imprint so that you will pass a good gene to the next generation. So, sa mga bit sciencey, ano ba itong mga phenomena na to? So, we have what we call the DNA methylation, histone modification. In short term, ang ibig sabihin lang nito, nutrients can balance genetic lines. And pag binabalance natin yung ating genetic lines through nutrients, we prevent the possibility of imbalanced inflammation. And ano yung later effect niya? Ang later effect niya is na prevent natin ang disease. So sinasabi dito that nutritional epigenetics has been viewed as an attractive tool para ma-prevent ang maraming diseases, particularly for children. So if you are a parent, you're concerned, how could I make sure that my kids are healthy, alright? Of course, kung nandiyan na yung anak mo, meron na siyang imprint eh. You can just supply good amounts of clinically relevant nutrients. So just to make it very simple and not sciencey, we want to make sure that we give the right nutrients to our children. That's why we have use animals. For us adults, we need the right balanced nutrients. Why? Like what I said a while ago, because they send signal to the cell. And when your cells are functionable, it also sends a good message to your DNA, and that can be passed on from one generation to the other. It doesn't mean na obese yung lahi mo, magiging obese ka na rin. Like what I said, there's a chance, there's a grace. You can take charge of your health. So are your cells getting enough nutrients, right? What makes USANA different from the others is that we are putting clinically relevant nutrients to your supplementation. And when I say clinically relevant nutrients, these are actually the nutrients that at present time, kailangan mo. I mean, I'm not bad-mouthing other supplement companies, but as a pharmacist, what we commonly see when we analyze supplementations is that they just put simple vitamins and minerals. And sometimes the doses are based in 1980s, 1970s. And if you ask me, are they good? What I would answer most of the time is that they are irrelevant. Ladies and gentlemen, what makes USANA different from the others? We are putting relevant vitamins and minerals that are needed in our generation. Meaning yung talagang kailangan natin ngayon. Kasi I'm not telling mag-overdose ka ng calcium. Kasi there's a specific dose you're supposed to take. But at this moment, at our present life, there are antioxidants na kailangan natin. Do not be deceived by commercials that telling you, oh, we have put lycopene in our product. This is something new. Because ladies and gentlemen, lycopene should always be on your diet. Lycopene should always be there. So, just before I continue, just a show or just a question there. Is my line clear? Are you seeing the picture of my presentation? I'd like to ask or I'd like to request anybody if the picture is not shown, please let me know so that I could continue to the next part. So, I think everything is clear. Let's now go to our next topic. Some people are asking me, why do we need supplementation? Right? Some people are telling me, Ma'am Jane, bakit ba kailangan mag-supplement? Ano bang relevance niyan? Bakit ko ba siya kailangan? Alright? Some people are telling me that, Jen, I need reasons eh. I need to know what important things are to know para po ma-share ko yung supplementation. So before I push through, let me just check my screen on just to make sure everybody sees the picture. So I've been receiving some message na wala daw image. So sorry for this technical thing. All right. Let me check. All right. Main screen. Mhm. Okay. For a while, uh, do not leave the webinar. I'm just fixing the screen. Mas maganda na meron tayong picture. Yan. I'll just exit the show. Please stand by, okay? Please do not leave the webinar. All right. Let me just put it in a main screen so that everybody sees it. Okay. For a while. Ayan. Wait lang po, ha? There. Ay, nawala. Wait lang po. Sorry for the technical problem, but we want to make sure everybody gets the information. So, after discussing yan, very good. After discussing epigenetics, yung bakit kailangan nating mag-supplement, alright? Some people are still curious, bakit kailangan mag-supplementation? So, before I start, let me just see some comments. Mayroon na bang picture dun sa ating webinar? Ayan, let me check the questions. Ayan, meron na po ba? I don't see. Nakikita nyo na po ba? May image na? Okay na, Miss Jen. Thank you, Sir Michael. Ayan. So, why do we need to supplement? Yan ang laging tinatanong sa akin. So, just to give you an idea, basic thing, you need to supplement because we would like to bridge the nutritional gap. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot just get nutrients from diet alone. The quality of our food now is different from the others. And let me lay down some reasons why supplements are really important. So, number one, there's what you call farming gap and loss of quality, particularly in shipping. Marami po tayong mga food products in the market that the problem is, for number one, farming gap, the quality of the soil is deficient already in terms of vitamins and minerals. And when it's deficient, of course, isa sa makikita natin na commonly na-affect is yung quality ng fruits and vegetable. Another thing we see is that since we get the fruits and vegetable before they mature, so when we transfer it from one place to another, one common thing that we observe is upon shipping long distances, the quality is depleting. The nutrients are depleting. So just to share to you one study, although you can read this as the scientist, particularly din sa Facebook group ng Health and Science Education ng USANA, there was a study headed by Donald Davis. He is a researcher from University of Texas sa Austin Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry. He said that when he conducted a study between 1950 to 1999, na-observe niya na yung 43 different fruits and vegetables that he has been studying through the years, dun sa 1950 to 1999, nagkaroon ng reliable decline. Why? Because when they check the quality of the fruit from the years that was discussed, nakita nila na iba na yung level ng calcium, phosphorus, iron, riboflavin, particularly vitamin B2, and vitamin C. And this nutritional decline, alright, is actually a problem. And ano yung ginagawa ng mga farmers natin now? What they do is they crossbreed the fruits and vegetable para at least makompensate yung kulang na fruits and vegetable or kulang na vitamins and minerals. But ladies and gentlemen, let's be very honest. Not everybody receives this crossbreed fruits and vegetables. So what's the next big thing for you to get vitamins and minerals? Siyempre, kukuha tayo sa supplement. So, sinasabi nga dito that there have been likely declines in these nutrients, lalo na yung mga important, and that's why we are getting lesser and lesser in terms of vitamins and minerals. So, kaya minsan pag kino-contest nila sa akin na, hindi, Ma'am Jen, I'll just get Fuji apple. So, imagine, coming from Japan, ilang kayang araw yun bago dumating sa Pilipinas? I cannot guarantee that the nutrients are still there. It could be still fresh, But again, you have removed it from the vine already. I mean, you removed it from the source. So, declined na most likely yung mga nutrients. No? So, another thing is aside from farming gap, meron tayong tinatawag na preservation. So, a lot of foods now that we eat is actually preserved, alright? If I have listeners here from Pagadian, so when I went there for a training, they have the best sardines, all right? And and fish is good, but if you process it, I cannot guarantee that you can get the right nutrients you're supposed to get. So you still need something that bridges the nutritional gap. Another thing, there are a lot of foods now that are genetically modified. So, sa mga nagtatanong, bakit kailangan i-genetically modified? Kasi kailangan nating ma-supplyan yung demand. Ang dami ng kakain. Kung hindi ka gagawa ng konting magic dyan sa pagkain mo, makukulangan tayo, magkakaroon ng shortage of food. And any modifications and changes in our foods, vegetables, particularly our crops, sometimes they get so big, it affects the nutritional value and the nutritional quality. So we get lesser vitamins and minerals. So isa din sa pinaka-important reason ba't kailangan mong mag-supplement. We have changing eating habits, erratic eating habits. If you would observe the study now in terms of reflux, yung tinatawag yung GERD, yung gastroesophageal reflux disorder, one thing that they correlate with this is that people have that because they don't eat on time. Biro mo ang ironic, may pangkain ka, pero hindi ka kumakain on time. So, it has an effect. Number one, it causes some acidity issues in the body. And number two, because you don't have a good digestive system, kahit mag-supplement ka, you don't get enough nutrients. So, ladies and gentlemen, I challenge everybody. You're doing USANA. You want to make sure you get the best or the most of what you have been paying for. You have to make sure you eat on time. Why? Because it affects your digestive system. Parang ganito yung rationale niyan eh. You have the best fuel, which is essentials, but if your machine is not working, how could you have a fast car? So we have to make sure that aside from eating right, our changing habits are also improved. Sinasabi nga dito, if the digestion is poor, it affects the absorption, it makes difficult for our body to get the right nutrients. So, minsan pag may nagtatanong sa akin, ba't kailangan ko ng vitamins? Kasi baka minsan, hindi ka nakakakain on time. So how could you absorb nutrients kung food lang ang panggagalingan? It should be also compensated by your vitamins and minerals. So another thing, so as a pharmacist, this concerns me, yung use ng medication, alright? There are certain medicines, there are certain drugs, alright, that actually has an effect particularly in the absorption of most of the nutrients in our body. So I'm not telling you to stop those, but based on what your doctor has been advising you, you take your maintenance meds as advised, and in a matter of like 15 to 30 minutes to 1 hour, you can take your supplementation as long as it is on the right dose. Kasi nonetheless, you'd still need those nutrients. Lalo na yung mga kailangan magpapayat, di ba? Sometimes if you are into an operation, kailangan bago mo-opera, mag-weight loss ka muna. Sometimes kinakat natin yung diet. So where do you compensate the vitamins and minerals? I mean, the vitamins and minerals na hindi mo makuha sa food? You get that through your supplementation. So, medicines should be taken based on the instruction of the doctor, particularly yung mga antibiotics, kailangan may mga reseta yan. So, konting plug lang, huwag niyo pong aawayin yung mga pharmacy sa mga butika if hindi ka nila bibigyan ng gamot kung wala kang reseta. Kasi we have to make sure we give you the right meds, and we have to make sure we prevent certain interactions, particularly the drug-food interaction, so that your condition would become better. Isang reason din ba't kailangan mong mag-supplement is aging and lifestyle. Alright? Hindi naman mapagkakaila. We're aging. Alright? And there are specific times in our life that we really need the right amount of vitamins and minerals. So first is aging. As you get old, there are certain minerals that should be there before you get old. Like for example, calcium and magnesium. Minsan, issues natin dito is yung tinatawag natin na osteoporosis. So bakit nagkaka-osteoporosis? Because most of the time, we actually have less calcium na naipon through time. Alright? And then sometimes most people don't realize magnesium should be also important because that aids in better digestion. So you have to make sure you have a good investment of vitamins and minerals to your diet because it has a long-term effect. Yun nga lang ito yung hindi okay sa mindset ng ibang mga Pinoy. What do they do? Sometimes what they do is they just take the vitamins because they need it now. ladies and gentlemen, let's develop a mindset that you are taking supplements for long-term use. Ibig sabihin, long-term investment because you would be needing these nutrients sooner or later when you age. So, next na natin yung life changes. Pag sinabi mong life changes, pag nabuntis ka, pag nag-menopause ka, you would be really needing a lot of nutrients, okay? So, if I may share to you a study again, so itong study na to nakapost to dun sa Facebook group ng Science and Education of USANA. Ang title ng study is The Effects of Prenatal Micronutrient Supplementation on Pregnancy Outcomes. This is a study of Prakash Shah and Arnie Oslon. They are doctors. And you know what? Based on the result of this study, sinasabi nila na yung prenatal supplementation, they have the capacity to decrease low birth risk. And bakit importante ito? Marami po ngayong mga nanganganak na underweight ang mga bata. And sometimes, maraming mga nanganganak ngayon that the kid or the baby, since it's not healthy, kailangan siyang magstay ng mas matagal sa hospital. And sometimes, there are some neurological problems that they see once children doesn't have the right weight. So, sinasabi dito that people who have been taking vitamins, particularly those who contain folic acid, vitamin A, vitamin B1, zinc, magnesium, they have better infant health and lesser infant mortality. So, kung may mga kakilala kayong pregnant, nasa life changes, menopause and all, I would suggest that you talk to your doctors, you discuss to your doctors the option of choosing vitamins and minerals. Why? Because it has a long-term effect on the body. So now let's go to the next topic, environmental issues. Okay? Iba na ho ang quality ng mga buga, ng mga tambucho, lalo na if you're staying here in the Philippines. One of the common problems we have now is pollution, and it has a direct effect, not just on ourselves. It also have a direct effect in our DNA. Another one, genetic weaknesses. So some people are unaware, like what I discussed a while ago in epigenetics, we have what we call genetic weaknesses. And one thing to improve your genes is to make sure you get the right nutrients. Ito yung pinag-uusapan natin this first part, yung epigenetics. You have to get clinically relevant nutrients because they have or they send a signal to your cells and they send a signal to your DNA. So there are a lot of deficiencies and illness now that happen because of vitamin and mineral lack or deficiency. So isa ding few reasons is some people are unaware, generally, nutrients are needed for a healthy life. So we need nutrients for a healthy life. Maraming nutrients that they prevent or they aid in the management of most health conditions. And some people, up until now, they still don't accept the reality that most of the diseases now, they are managed with proper nutrient. Kung mapapansin mo nga sa hospital, di ba? Prior to prescribing maintenance medication, what do? Change your diet, improve your diet, so forth, and so on. So now, let's go to the next topic. So, since alam na nating mahalaga yung supplementation, some people are still clueless. Diba? Parang some people are still asking, are supplements dangerous? So, for those who are doing USANA, I'd like to reiterate to you that there might be some people who would tell you, naku, baka masama naman sa health ko niyan, ang dami mo namang pinaiinom. Pero I'd like to share with you this study. I was able to check this. Yung mismong study, hindi ko siya ma-print screen. But in this study, sinasabi dito that in a 10-year study, and they have 3,667 cases, they discovered that the main reason why people think na masama ang supplements is because they don't know how to use it. Pag hindi natin properly na-explain how supplements work, how vitamins and minerals work, people has a tendency to overdose it. That's why sometimes they might tell you, Ma'am, di ako nakatulog. Ma'am, bakit ganito naramdaman ko? So ladies and gentlemen, please reiterate when you do your product trainings, the proper way of taking the products. These webinars are our initiative to make sure we send the right message. If there are some diseases, do not replace your hypertensive meds with USANA. Your USANA just is added to manage the condition. So, sinasabi dito na hindi naman pala talaga dietary supplements ang causes ng death. It's more likely because most of them develop adverse event because they don't know how to use it properly. So, medyo maraming mga exaggerations about supplementation. But we have to make sure we back it up with research. And since we're USANA, bakit tayo confident na maganda yung supplements natin? Not only that the formulation is very good, but our facility of how we make our product is FDA registered. Some people are still not aware that our facility is a GMP certified facility. I myself fly to the US every year because I have to get accreditation for GMP even though I'm not working there. Because USANA wants to make sure that we follow good guidelines, product development guidelines, and even yung guidelines ng proper explanation ng product. What makes USANA different from the others? We have a research that guarantees that within 15 to 18 minutes, nagdi-disintegrate yung tablets. Ibig sabihin, natutunaw siya. And there's a lot of supplements in the company that they don't have that. Pag tinanungan mo na sila ng research, sasabihin nila sa'yo, it's just an optional thing that FDA has been asking. But ladies and gentlemen, though it's optional, in USANA we do it. Why? Because we want to establish quality. Kaya iba talaga pag yung company is founded by a scientist, not a marketer. Kasi parang sila lahat, buy one, take 10, but with us, it's different. We voluntarily adhere to GMP. USANA invests in very expensive third-party validations, like for example, the consumer lab, just to make sure we test the validity, the safety of the products. So, now, is nutrition important? Kanina nabigay ko sa inyo bakit kailangan mag-supplement. Minsan may mga tao pa rin clueless. Bakit? So, let me just give you summaries why this generation that we have needs good nutrients. Tayo po ay fast food generation na. Okay? Masarap eh, di ba? But the thing here is that this fast food, they actually affect the quality of nutrients you absorb every day. So, if I may share to you a study, this was conducted in China, alright, and Singapore rather. Sinasabi ng study dun sa Singapore na when they check the dietary levels of adults, what they have commonly observed is dahil sa kakakain ng mga fast food, there's a high increase in pancreatic cancer. And the problem with pancreatic cancer is most of the time, it's irreversible. It's difficult to cure. So when they did a study sa 63,257 na adults from age 45 to 74, so ginawa tong study ng 1993 to 1998, may mga tao silang in-enroll na pinainom nila ng vitamin B12, B6, B12, folate, B2, choline. And when they regroup that, kinompare nila. Yung mga uminom ng vitamins sa mga hindi uminom ng vitamins, they have observed that in a 16-year follow-up, yung mga uminom ng may vitamin B6, B2, B12, choline, yung mga uminom ng vitamins, there was a 48% lower risk in developing pancreatic cancer. So ito yung pinapaliwanag ko ulit na long term. Minsan, there are a lot of people, they don't want to take supplements because it doesn't affect me now. But ladies and gentlemen, there are days you cannot help but eat fast food. There might be some emotional days na talagang cheeseburger lang ang sagot sa kalungkutan. And you need to protect your body. And one of the good investment you can give is actually vitamins and minerals. So, minsan may nagsasabi sa akin, Singapore study naman to, iba naman ang katawan ng Pilipino. Again, we all have genes, we all have DNA. You have to make sure and you have to realize vitamins are important. Another thing, marami sa atin very emotional. Ibig sabihin, emotional well-being. Most of us are covered with stress. Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a study that when you are highly stressed, most of us develop cardiovascular disease. Sabi sa isang Harvard study, you can see this again in the Facebook group of the Health and Science, those who took vitamins and minerals in long term had a 44% reduction of heart problem. And some people would say, 44% lang naman. But ladies and gentlemen, if you translate that to the Philippine population, more or less 15 million Filipinos, if they have the right vitamins, could be protected from cardiovascular disease. So, isa ring reason, bakit ko to nire-reiterate tong vitamins and minerals. We are an obesity evolution country. Okay? I'm not condemning. What I'm trying to tell you is that most of the diseases now result from being overweight. I myself became a victim of this, still struggling to actually correct this. But ladies and gentlemen, one of the surprising studies and inspiring studies I've seen is, sabi ng isang study, ang title niya is The Effects of Multivitamin and Mineral Supplementation on Adiposity, Energy Expenditure, and Lipid Profile in Obese Chinese Women. Sinasabi dito that insufficient calcium may actually have a negative effect in the body because it lessens the absorption of fat. So, hindi ko to sinasabi para tumaas yung sales ng calcium. But what I'm trying to tell you is long before they have recognized that calcium is not good for the bones lang. Calcium also has an effect in assisting our body, particularly tinatawag nating lipolysis, the burning of fat. And it has a positive effect in long-term weight loss. Sinasabi dito that if you have low levels of vitamins and minerals, especially if you're cutting calories, you are reducing the capacity of your body to lose weight. So, sa mga those who are trying to lose weight, if you're encouraging people to lose weight, it's really important that they have these vitamins and minerals. Sinasabi nga dito, like what I said, ang vitamins and minerals, they have the capacity to actually lessen the fatness, improve the lipid profile, and increase energy expenditure natin para ma-burn ang mga fat. So, in essentials, what makes it really important, it has good sources of calcium. So, before I thoroughly move on, ito din, gusto ko lang din balikan. Minsan kasi meron tayong mga tinatawag na medication overload. Okay? So, maraming umiinom ng gamot. You have to recognize that in taking medications, like what I said a while ago, there is a tendency for you to absorb or less reabsorb or lessen yung absorption ng nutrients. So, you need to refill on that and you get that through your vitamins and minerals. Okay? And then, ito rin, ulitin ko lang din, inevitable aging. As you age, you need clinically relevant nutrients. Then yung kanina, yung unhealthy lifestyle, kailangan din natin na ma-realize that in an healthy lifestyle, we have poor food choices, so you would need a good source of vitamins and minerals. So, we were able to talk about epigenetics, bakit mahalaga yung nutrients sa genes natin, because it translates a message, right? And we were able to discuss ba't kailangan ng supplement. So now that we really know, we have a lot of reasons now why we need supplementation. Some people wants to know what's the best supplement. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to show to you what makes our essentials different from the others. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the flagship product of USANA. What makes it really different from the others is that this supplementation is comprehensive in terms of the choices of vitamins and minerals na nilalagay. Not only that, the combination of this has a good potency because if you would check the label, it has what we call vehicles that are highly absorbable. And definitely, if you would study pharmacology, anything that is highly absorbable, when the body receives it, then definitely it gets into the blood and it gets into the cells. So anything that gets into the blood, we measure that through bioavailability. Bakit iba siya? Okay. Not only that, it has comprehensive ingredients. What you could also observe is that we have what we call the olive oil extract. The olive oil extract was extracted from the olives, right? And it has been studied to have a good cardioprotective property. Not only that, nililesen niya po yung production mo ng mataas na bad cholesterol, yung tinatawag nating low density lipoprotein. So, not only you're nourishing your body with the right nutrients, but ladies and gentlemen, you are also providing your body a protection to protect your body from bad cholesterol. So let me just give you a run through ano ba yung mga ingredients na meron yung ating essentials para lang at least once you get this PowerPoint presentation, you can present to your inner group or your group kung ano ba yung pagkakaiba natin at ano ba yung mga ibig sabihin ng bawat ingredient. So, ladies and gentlemen, essentials contains vitamin A and vitamin C. So, definitely these are very important vitamins not only for the sense of sight but also for wound healing capacity and collagen formation. Some people are unaware that vitamin C is really important to protect not just our immune system but also how our cells divide, how our cells work. So, vitamin A usually under-recognized siya, but it has a good effect directly in providing protection in our eyesight, specifically our skin as well. So, isa din sa meron tayo is the vitamin D and vitamin E. These ingredients, as much as possible, they should go together. So this is in your essentials. The vitamin D is important in better absorption of your calcium. Sometimes if you have osteoporosis, most of the time you're not just prescribed with calcium, ini-encourage ka din mag-vitamin D. This is for better absorption. So most of cancer diseases, one of the supplements given to them to make sure their medicines are really working well is they're given vitamin D as well. Then we also have vitamin E. It has a good antioxidant effect in the body, a good wound healing capacity in the body. Also, it's very good in a good production of the red blood cells. So if you're pregnant, a good amount, not an overdose amount of vitamin E is very important. And then also, it's good for the circulatory system. And as much as possible, if you're anemic, you can ask a prescription from your doctor. But a good diet na mayroong iron, tapos samahan mo pa ng vitamin E, nakakatulong siya sa improved recovery. So another, what makes essentials different from the others is we have the complete base of B complexes. In the market, what you can only commonly observe is their B complexes is the B1, B6, and the B12. But with us, we have added all the B complexes necessary. Why? Because they have a direct effect in a lot of organ systems in the body. Vitamin B1, or what we call the thiamine, they have a direct effect as a food of our brain in order for our brain to function. Not only that, vitamin B1 should always be in the diet because it's a nerve protecting ingredient. Hindi mo alam in the future when you get old, you might be exposed with a lot of stress. Your nerves has to get the right nutrients for long-term effect. So we also have the vitamin B2, the riboflavin, all right? It's also very good in the production of the RBC, or what we call the red blood cells. Most of the time, it's hard for us to convert carbohydrates to energy. It's because we lack vitamin B2. All right. Some people only depend on vitamin B2 on their diet. With essentials, we have a small dose of that so that every day you have a good source of vitamin B2. Another is vitamin B3, or what we call the niacin. Most of the time, there are some foods na pino-fortify, meaning dinadagdagan nila ng vitamin B3. Because vitamin B3 is very important to lessen the possibility of obesity, particularly for children. So, binibigyan yung katawan natin ng sufficient nutrients and energy so that we can use that as a fuel to do our physical activity. Aside from vitamin B1, vitamin B3 is also very important in protecting our nerves. So, particularly those who have issues with the nerves, those issues na parang hirap i-open ang mga kamay, pagtapak mo ng paa mo medyo masakit, you can go to your neurologist, and most doctors are openly prescribing vitamin B3 as additional supplement. And instead of buying vitamin B3 na isa lang siya, you can also get that from essentials. And also, vitamin B3 helps produce enzymes so that we could have better digestion. So, itong B5, yung pantothenic acid, very rare that you would see supplement companies to have this. Why? Because it is one of the most expensive B complexes. So this is very good in converting your carbohydrates, protein, fats, and fiber to energy. So mas nagkakaroon ng lesser possibility of overeating if you have the right nutrients. Kasi hindi na siya magsisend ng signal sa brain mo kumain pa eh. Kasi nako-convert mo na yung kinain mo to energy. Also, we have vitamin B6. We call this the pyridoxine. So pyridoxine is very important. Most of the supplements have this. And this is very good in maintaining the blood circulation in the brain. Most of the time, we have that lag moments. Maliban na lang kung medyo bungol ka talaga or bingi ka. Pero itong lag moments na to, we could relink that because of lack of oxygenation in the brain. So when you're stressed, you need a very good level of oxygenation in the brain, and vitamin B6 can help you with that. And other than that, in our immune system, we have what we call the antibodies. Itong mga antibodies na to, they protect us from certain virus, bacteria, parasites. Ang isa sa mga nagpapa-enhance ng B complex or ng immune system natin rather is what you call your vitamin B6. So, walang vitamin B7, B8, medyo irrelevant yan ng mga vitamin B9. But one of the crucial na kahit babae at lalaki ay dapat meron is vitamin B9. We call it the folic acid. Most of the time, they say na, hindi, folic acid pang babae lang yan. So, it's not true. You need folic acid every day. It's needed in DNA synthesis. It's needed in sending signals to your DNA so that they will function better. Yung mga faulty DNAs natin, most of the time it's a result because you don't have the right nutrients to signal your cell and signal your DNA. So folic acid is needed para maka-absorb ka ng calcium, maka-absorb ka ng vitamin C. Folic acid is also needed para magkaroon ka ng enzymes so that you could digest food very well. So, vitamin B9, the folic acid, is relevant not just for female but also for male. Lalo na sa mga aging people or yung tinatawag natin na medyo tumatanda na. Another is we have also what we call the vitamin B12 or yung tinatawag natin cyanocobalamin. Okay? Cyanocobalamin is very good for the nutrition, particularly in the cells of the brain and spinal cord. Don't you know that any damage in the spinal cord could be irreversible? So you will need something to protect your spinal cord. And one of the nutrients they need, okay, is vitamin B12. So it's very hard for you to get vitamin B12 from diet. Medyo marami kang kakainin para lang makuha yung vitamin B12. So let you sana extract that and just give that through our supplement. So, isa ding supplement or isa ding vitamin na meron sa essentials is what we call the biotin. In books, they also call this the vitamin H, alright? Let me just clarify, hindi ito yung pag ininom mo, dadami na yung buhok mo, hindi ka na magiging kalbo. But most of the time, there are some people who may have an hereditary issue with baldness. Bata pa lang dapat meron ka ng biotin sa diet. Bata pa lang dapat meron ka na nito. That's why if you're pregnant, para maganda yung strands ng buhok ng anak mo, maganda yung protection ng hair sa buong katawan ng baby mo, you should have this in your diet. And for those na may mga bald issues, alright, sometimes it could be hormonal eh. Sabi nga sa isang study, ang pagiging bald or pagiging kalbo is linked to being very masculine. Lalaking lalaki, ibig sabihin ang taas ng testosterone level mo. So, sometimes you can put biotin topically, you can buy creams on that. But for essentials, hindi yan yung biglang papahabain yung buhok mo. Pero i-maintain niya lang yung growth ng hair and ng nail. So, with a good hair health and good nail health, this can actually guarantee that you have a good cellular activity. So, again, hindi ito yung pag pinainom mo ng essential sa haba na kagad yung buhok. It takes a process, but if you think you have a gene, okay, kita mo, tito mo, lanay, lolo mo, medyo kalbuhin, then it could be a good supplement to support your diet every day so that there's a probability na medyo mas madali yun mangyari sa'yo. Then in terms of the minerals, we have calcium and iodine. Calcium, again, like what we said, is very good for bones, teeth, and nervous system. Also, this is very good for your digestion. Alright? Not only that, brain development. Tapos kanina, I was talking about yung lipolysis. Calcium is also very important in burning your fat and turning it to energy. Then yung iodine naman, it's very important in maintaining your thyroid hormone. Minsan may mga cases tayo na baka may hyperthyroidism or hypothyroidism. There are some times that you need to ask consultation from doctors if you're supposed to give essentials. But a minimal dose of 1 pair wouldn't hurt. Okay naman siya. Minsan nagkakaroon lang tayo ng problema kapag medyo late na yung pag-track na meron palang thyroid problem tapos imbis na maggamot, nagyuyusan na bigla. Doon nagkaka-palpitation. But just to make things clear, at least a pair of essentials won't hurt. It gives sufficient vitamins and minerals in the body. Napakakarampot lang ng iodine nun para mag-cause ng problem. And generally, pagka talagang may thyroid problem, meron talagang palpitation. Kasi there's an imbalance in the hormone. So if you receive problems like, uminom ako essentials, nagpalpitate ako, what do we do? Increase water intake. And then, para makapag-adjust yung katawan, lalo na kung may thyroid problem, just separate. Yung umaga, chelated, yung hapon, mega antioxidant. Pero kung persistent, ibig sabihin, lagi na yung palpitation, please go to your doctor. You really have to go to your doctor. Okay? Dahil hindi naman gamutin niyo sana. So we also have magnesium and chromium. Magnesium not only assists calcium para mas ma-absorb siya, but magnesium also helps in the peristaltic movement. Ibig sabihin yung proper digestion. So pag medyo napapalaban tayo ng mga buffets, I'm not telling na license nyo to ha para mag-buffet, but this is very good to aid in digestion and prevent early signs of hyperacidity. So also chromium is good. Why? Because chromium influences the pancreas so that the pancreas would release good amounts of insulin. So, pag na-influence yung pancreas maglabas ng insulin, nagkakaroon tayo ng balance sa mga sugar na pumapasok sa katawan. So, let me just clarify, this is not a medication for diabetes. It just so happened that if you have diabetes, you need to promote or you need to give clinically relevant nutrients to your pancreas. And what's a clinically relevant nutrient to your pancreas? That's chromium. Kaya pag minsan tinatanong ako, ma'am, ano bang nakakatulong sa diabetes? Nakakatulong pero hindi gamot is chromium. Because, like what I said, this influences your pancreas to release good amount of insulin. Kung wala kang diabetes, kung okay pa pancreas mo, it's very good because it's a long-term investment to prevent onset of any irregularities in your pancreas. Next, we have the molybdenum and zinc. So molybdenum, it's very good in the DNA replication, DNA signaling in the body. Ito usually dito napapansin dito relevant sa ibang tao. But again, if you have a good cell, it promotes a good DNA. If you have a good DNA, then it can produce a good gene imprint na masisend mo sa mga anak mo or sa future generation. So for DNA repair, nakakatulong to. Ang molybdenum also opens and closes signals in our body, like closes the possibility of hypertension or any gene problem. So kailangan may dose ka niyan every day. Then zinc is very good in the immune system, wound healing, cell division is also important. Bakit? Kasi when you have constant cell division, then it is a constant nurturance of your body para laging bago yung cell mo, refresh yung cell mo. And zinc also has the capacity to assist apoptosis. Ano yung apoptosis? Ito yung cell death. Kasi dapat, pag may nabubuhay na cell, pag may nagdi-divide, dapat may namamatay. So, ang nakakatulong doon sa balancing yon para laging bago yung cells mo, laging relevant yung mga cells mo is the zinc. Also, we have what we call the silicone. So, hindi ito yung silicone sa boobs, okay? Hindi ito yung implant. Ang silicone na ito is something that we ingest and this is very good also in digestion. And not only that, this is very good for energy. Kaya minsan may nagsasabi na, pag naka-essentials ako, parang lakas-lakas ko. It's not psychological. There are ingredients like silicone that helps convert your energy or your food rather into energy. Then something for the reproductive system and also an assistance to your immune system, we also have what we call the selenium. Okay, selenium should be in your diet every day, particularly in your reproductive cells, so that they may receive relevant nutrients para mag-function sila. Also, we have what we call the copper, okay? Copper is important. Hindi ito yung mga copper wire sa mga cable ninyo, ha? Copper is something that you ingest. This is something that helps you promote iron release, helps you promote good oxygenation in the body, and this is actually very, very good in the immune system level. So, minsan may mga nagtatanong, ma'am, bakit nga ba walang iron yung essentials? Because most of the time, some people are unaware, iron is best received from food. Kung meron kang iron from food, para mas ma-absorb mo yon, kailangan mo ng copper. Kumbaga, kailangan mo ng tiga-push. So rather than taking iron supplements, kung di ka naman anemic, kumain ka na lang ng copper food. Yung yung iron-containing food rather. Ito yung mga malunggay, spinach, green leafy vegetable. And then with your supplement having copper, nare-release niya yung natural iron release in the body. Hindi ka pa nalalason, hindi ka pa nagkaka-toxicity. Tapos we also have the manganese. Manganese is actually very good in enzyme productions in the body. A good enzyme production would mean na well-lubricated yung katawan mo, maganda yung processes ng digestive system mo, maganda yung intestine mo, and the others. So, kumbaga sa kotse, para itong brake fluid. Kailangan lagi kang may brake fluid para any emergency, ready yung katawan mo. Also, we have what we call the olive extract. So with Usana, we have the olive oil. So ito naman, it contains a very good level of cardioprotective activity, particularly in lessening our bad cholesterol. Then it also have the turmeric extract. Sa Pilipinas, tawag natin dito is luya. Yellow na luya, luyang dilaw. Okay, so it's also considered as an halamang gamot by the Department of Health. So, let me just clarify, although I placed there antibacterial and antiviral, pero pag may bacteria ka ng malupit, medyo you need to go to your doctor to have a prescription of antibiotic. But for surface bacteria or surface virus and the like, this is a good first defense that you can give your body. Minsan lang sinasabi nila, di ma'am, inom na lang ako ng luyang dilaw. Ang nakikita nating common problem is kung inom ka ng luyang dilaw per se, it could cause hyperacidity. So we removed the acidity part. We just extracted the turmeric or the cumin we're talking about, and that is in your essentials. Also, we have antioxidants such as your broccoli concentrate, all right? And aside from that, it also contains green tea extract. So, broccoli concentrate is a very good antioxidant to prevent cell mutation. It sends a signal to your cell para maganda yung DNA replication mo. And then green tea, aside from very good lessening stress ingredient, yung catechins nito is a very good antioxidant para mag-dispose yung katawan natin ng mga free radicals. It also contains bilberry extract and lycopene. Bilberry being an antioxidant, it promotes good bowel movement. Ito yung mga clinically relevant antioxidants lalo na sa colon mo tsaka sa small intestine. Then lycopene, it's very good in DNA replication, and some people are unaware, hindi lang siya good for the heart. Lycopene is also improving or very good, particularly in the cell division in the body. Lycopene has the capacity to prevent abnormal cell growth, yung mga cyst formation, bukol. So, I'm not telling kung may bukol ka, ito na ha, but you have to go to your doctor. But if you have a gene history ng mga myoma, bukol and all, one of the clinically relevant nutrients you're supposed to take is something with lycopene. So, that's why yung ating palmetto, it doesn't just contain saw palmetto, it also contains lycopene. Why? Because lycopene is very good to prevent abnormal cell growth para hindi namamaga at nagiging cancerous yung enlargement ng prostate. We also have lutein. Okay? Lutein comes from marigold flower. So, some people would tell me, hindi man, kukunin ko na lang sa source, hindi ko nabibili sa supplement. So, hindi naman tayo kumakain ng bulaklak, di ba? So, with Usana, we extracted the lutein from the marigold flowers and we put that in our supplement. It's very good for delaying the possibility of macular degeneration, lalo na kung yung work exposure mo nakatingin lagi sa camera or kaya nakatingin lagi sa computer. So, it protects our eyes. Also, we have cinnamon. It is a natural anti-anxiety agent. Cinnamon is also very good to actually lessen the free radicals that is caused by emotional stress and the like. So, makakatulong siya na mawasan yung free radicals. We also have rutin. It's a very powerful antioxidant. So, it's a very good antioxidant to protect the heart, particularly cardiovascular free radicals. We also have the pomegranate. Pomegranate is a fruit. It's a very good source of flavonoids, kagaya ng grapeseed. And it's very good in digestion, particularly yung mga intestine part, particularly yung colon issues. So, if you have colon issues such as history ng colon cancer and all, a very good clinically relevant nutrient you're supposed to have in the diet is pomegranate. So, minsan naliliteral, ay, bibili na lang ako ng pomegranate lang. So, I'll just go back to what I always tell you. No single content can provide all the nutrients the body needs. Okay? So, again, no single content can provide all the nutrients the body needs. Also, we have what we call the quercetin and hesperidin. So, this is a very powerful antioxidant. Some people are unaware that yung balat ng orange, kaya nga diba minsan yung mga Chinese pine-preserve yan, tapos kinakain nila as candy, it has a positive effect in lessening cholesterol. It's a very good cardioprotective agent. Hindi siya gamot, pero if you have a good dose of this every now and then, it prevents early onset of cholesterol issues in the body. So again, hindi naman masama yung cholesterol. May mga types lang talaga ng cholesterol that are not good. These are your LDL or your low density lipoproteins. So ano yung mga kailangan mong supplement dyan or kailangan mong antioxidant? You need quercetin and hesperidin. Also, we have inositol, something that gives energy in the body. So it fuels our body. It's a type of antioxidant that gives energy on the body. And then we have the choline. So, minsan may nagtatanong sa akin, ma'am, ba't walang silimarin yung essentials? One of the mildest way to protect your liver is choline. You can get that from choline. Pag medyo malalala na, medyo kailangan na ng malupit na detoxification, then we revert you to silimarin. But other than that, if just simple detoxification, especially if you eat right, exercise, you can get that already with your essentials. We just demand silimarin to some people because they know themselves that they have overworked liver and they need a good detox product. Pero yung simple detoxification, choline can help you with that. So we also have bromelain. This is very good for digestion. This is an antioxidant that is relevant in your digestive system to prevent early onsets of possible ulcers or yung mga bulges na pwedeng magkaroon yung iyong tiyan. So, mga indigestion, nakakatulong din siya. Isa sa relevant antioxidants too is your alpha-lipoic acid. So, the alpha-lipoic acid helps the skin quality, collagen formation, and a very good antioxidant to prevent free radicals, particularly affecting our skin. Okay, then we have coenzyme Q10. Although we have Coquinon, but a little dose of coenzyme Q10 a day is relevant. Why? Because this is important in the cardiovascular health. Coenzyme Q10 is also relevant, particularly in your brain development, in your heart development, in your kidney, liver. So kung may mga issues kayo doon, may history, dapat bata pa lang, dapat 18 pa lang, meron ka ng dose nito. It has a long-term protective effect in the body. Then also we have the N-acetylcysteine. Some people are unaware this is one of the very significant ingredients you should be having every day. N-acetylcysteine is a good detoxifying component. Okay, what does it do? It allows salivation. Ibig sabihin, consistent yung paglalaway natin. Kasi kung dry yung bibig natin, kung wala tayong magandang level ng saliva, we are prone to growth of bacteria. At pag bumaba yung bacteria sa lungs, then we could be prone to pneumonia. Of course, yun yung long-term effect niya. So dapat, every day, we have a good salivation. And one of the components that help you to detoxify naturally is your N-acetylcysteine. That's why sometimes there are some people who would say, ba't ganon? Nung ininom ko essentials, inubo ko kahapon. So, maaring may ubo ka or hindi ka lang sanay na maganda yung salivation mo. So, syempre, pag na-irritate yung lalamunan mo, you have to spit it out. So, idura mo lang sa tamang lugar. Then that's it. That's most of the supplements or the contents rather that we have in our essentials. But the key thing I'd like to remind everybody is that these supplements should be partnered also with eating right and exercising. We give you supplements to give clinically relevant nutrients to your body, but you have to make sure you also do your part. Again, babalik ako to sa example ko. Kung ang katawan mo ay parang Mustang na kotse, okay? Para umandar yan ng maayos, it needs the right fuel. I believe supplements could be your right fuel. Pero kung ibabangga-bangga mo yan, ibig sabihin kung sa tao magpupuyat ka lagi, hindi ka kakain on time. No matter how helpful these nutrients are, if the body is not functioning well, if there is a problem, you cannot attain good health. So here in Usana, we don't promise that you'll be healthy forever, but we just guarantee you that if you take charge of your health and take the best fuel, which is our supplementation, we can have a better chance of having a healthier body and a healthier future. And since sa pag-usapan na natin yung epigenetics, you have a good legacy to leave to your family. You're not just being healthy for yourself. Like what I always tell everybody, epigenetics now is one of the science-based studies that explain to us na hindi ka na lang nagpapahealthy for you. Nagpapahealthy ka for the next generation. Let's cut the curse of hypertension, diabetes, and most of these diseases by how? By being educated. That the next big thing to help influence your genes is the right nutrition. And I hope everybody agrees with that. USANA is not playing God. We're just educating you how important supplementation is. And because we're USANA, we guarantee that we make the best product for you. And yan naman talaga ang isa sa nagpapabilib sa akin with USANA. With USANA, we'd like to provide the highest quality, science-based vitamins and supplementation. And how do we do that? We provide highest base manufacturing facility. And with USANA, what we boast most of is our potency, quality, strength, and our composition, particularly the purity of the product. So, medyo lengthy yung pinag-usapan natin today, but I hope you appreciate why we are doing USANA now, why we are promoting USANA. More than the money, we want people to be educated that they have to take charge of their health now. So if you want to have a copy of the presentation, if you want to have the recording of the presentation, please do send me an email at jen.blasurca@ph.usana.com. And I hope a lot of you were able to learn a lot of things today. Probably those who always attend my product training, may mga nakuha na sila before. But I hope I was able to help you in sharing USANA better. Our goal here is to duplicate these trainings. You may use the recording as a reviewer, but we want to make sure that you do this in your provinces, you do this in your places, and share USANA to a lot of people. So for those who are curious, when is our next webinar? So put it on your calendars. We'll be having our next webinar on June 10. Okay? So again, our next webinar is on June 10. Okay, June 10 is a Friday. So same thing, we'll announce everything via your leaders, via the USANA Instagram. By the way, it's USANA Pilipinas, and through our USANA Facebook. So I don't have the time anymore to answer your questions online, but if you happen to have any question, please make sure you send me an email through this. Previously, I've received some questions. I'll do my best to finish all the questions today. Medyo marami lang po talaga siya. As of today, we have 700 attendees. So, I'll do my best to answer each and every one. But again, if you have curious questions, please do ask us. We want to help you in your Usana business. So, once again, this is Jen. Thank you so much for attending my webinar. It's an honor to teach you about Usana. And thank you. Take charge of your health. Once again, salamat. Thank you po. Okay, sisiting ako yung mga tanong.
Na-record mo ba?
Na-record kaya to?
Recording eh.
So, stop na?
Oo.